Before we dive into our rad new ep, we want to acknowledge the traditional owners on the land on which we record, the Wurundjeri people. We pay our respects to elders past and present and to the ongoing living culture of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people.
What's up and welcome to Girls Gotta Work podcast. I'm Jordan and I'm a hot mess.
And I'm Hayleigh, a recovering awkward person.
And we are your go-to girls for talking about the rad, the bad, and the mad reality of running a business.
Go grab a coffee, kick up your feet, and enjoy today's episode.
On today's episode, we are going to be talking about keeping the momentum going in 2023. So after the last episode where we spoke to the lovely Yolanthe about setting herself up for success in business, we thought, we've all set our goals, hopefully, probably by now. We're sort of ready to go. We're feeling motivated at the start of the year. But how the fuck do we keep the momentum going when we start feeling burnt out and tired and all of the things? So that is on the cards for today. But as we promised in our last episode, we want to talk to you about our holidays, our break, catch you up to speed. A lot has happened in my world, at least. And yeah, we've sort of just got a lot to talk about. So Hayleigh, do you want to kick us off and tell us how your break was?
My break was lovely. I spent a lot of time just romanticizing solo dates and going out by myself. So it's good.
Well, and because you have a big birthday coming up, don't you? And you're doing a certain challenge to lead up to your birthday.
I do. So I am turning 30 this year, guys.
Ooh.
It's hard to believe. It's hard to believe.
You don't look 30. You don't look a day over 24.
Oh, thanks. So yeah, I have set myself a little challenge called, I've dubbed it it's my personal 12-week challenge of becoming that woman before I turn 30, because it's exactly 12 weeks, the start of Jan to my birthday, March 20th, just in case you want to slide into my DMs on that. Yeah, so I've just been working on I've broken it down into 3 sections. First section is my mind. So I'm working on my habits, my gratitude, my journaling, just really getting clear in my brain and in my mind and how I feel. And then the second part is my body. So I'm working on not only my fitness, but going to the dentist, going to get my eyes checked, doing a whole blood work, which is a story for another day.
Yeah.
Fine, guys. So I'm working on that. And also, yeah, I'm also doing some dance classes to move my body for rather than just an exercise thing.
Yeah, for fun, rather than I need to sweat it out and get super fit and healthy and just for fun. I love that.
Yes, and then the third is my soul. So I'm working on just inner child stuff and just having fun for fun's sake, because I'm really bad at just being in that kind of hustle culture-y mind where I'm everything has to be how do I make this hobby a productive hobby, or how do I rest more productively? So dumb.
How do I make money from lying on the couch and watching RuPaul's Drag Race?
Yeah, which if anyone is wanting to know, maybe surveys. I've just started those.
Oh yeah.
Doing surveys on your phone.
Talk about side hustles.
So yeah, it's just something fun. And I do a lot of this stuff anyway, but I really just wanted to my biggest thing this year is working on my discipline.
Yeah.
Because I'm very good in lots of areas, and I know I'm probably being a bit too critical of myself, but I am I'm pretty good, but I just kind of wanted to go into 30 being just a fraction better. Not that I'm scared to turn 30 and I don't have this humongous bucket list that I've had to have had done, because I'm just not about that kind of style of goal planning.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited to turn 30, excited for this chapter, and I just want to go into it being the best version of myself. So
I love that. I love that so much.
It's going really well. So yeah, that's my personal life in a nutshell.
And business?
Business is good. I've set some fun goals, which I'm not ready to talk about fully yet.
Fair enough.
Hallie Helper is going through some changes, but not till the second half of the year, because I'm doing my own personal challenges and stuff like that. I wanted to take the first half of the year for my business and really just be kind of an employee in a sense.
Yeah.
I'm not growing anything humongously, but I'm always working on my business, but it's not the biggest focus for the first half of the year for me anyway, which has been good, because then it just allows me to have fun and see what happens, because it allows space for something exciting to happen if I want it to. If not, I've got my big dreams on the second half of the year.
Yeah. Amazing. And also, so often when we actually take time to rest and not push anything and not force anything out, we come up with so many ideas, and for me it really gives clarity on what I actually want to do next. And having time off, it's I get really bored with time off, so I'm always thinking, okay, what do I want to do when I get back to work, or what do I want to do with my life? Or I don't know, I sort of dramatize it a little bit too much. But yeah, it gives me the space to think, okay, well, I don't want to do nothing. I would not make for a very good housewife or stay at home anything full
Yeah.
time. But yeah, like what do I want to do with my time? How do I want to spend it? How do I want to maximize rest, but also get stuck into something that I'm passionate about? So yeah, I think giving yourself 6 months to just, I don't know, play and have fun and rest, hopefully, is
Feel it
amazing.
out.
Just feel it out. Yeah, I love that. And for Girls Gotta Work, do you want to, because in a month we have something really exciting coming up.
Yes. So for Girls Gotta Work, we have so many big, juicy plans, which we're very excited for. But our first one is our panel event. So it's a bit of a networking / speaking event. So we've got some amazing women in business to chat about the
rad, the bad, and the mad reality of running a business.
Exactly. So we're super excited for that. Yeah. So keep listening, keep watching. Tickets are out now.
Yeah.
Buy them, buy all the things.
Link
if you're
in
not
show
in
notes.
Melbourne, come to Melbourne. I don't know.
Come to Melbourne. Yeah. I have a small house, so I can't host you, but like come to Melbourne if you, if you are planning on coming to Melbourne anyway and you want a holiday, you want an escape, and it just so happens to be around March 30th, then amazing. It's all worked out amazingly.
It's a tax write-off. Come for a holiday and networking event.
Yeah.
Just come.
Yeah, you can write off your whole holiday on tax.
Yeah.
Don't trust that. I am not an accountant.
I mean, yeah, part of that is true, but seek professional advice before.
Seek professional advice. We are not professionals. What's the I'm just thinking of the disclaimer that all like financial advisors use on like podcasts where they're giving advice. It's like, this is not official advice. Like, please refer to.
My favorite is like actual results may vary.
Yeah.
That's not the right one, but it's just fun to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got some big other juicy plans for the year ahead, but again, we're just taking it a little bit slow, giving us some time and some space to make those dreams fall into fruition.
Yeah.
But what about you, Jordan? We want to know what's been happening. Tell us all the things.
Oh my god! So yeah, Girls Gotta Work aside.
Where do you want to start?
Fuck, I don't know. Honestly,
we might have to postpone the rest of this podcast now, Jake.
Yeah.
Story time.
Yeah, no, we'll touch on it. I think we've already spoken about having like a full episode on the topic that I'm about to talk to you about. So I am getting a job.
Yes, you are.
So I sort of took time off towards the end of December. I've taken all of January off to really figure out where I wanted to do. I have been burnt out more times than I can count. Like my job, like through Scrunch, is creativity nonstop. Like I am constantly on, and I'm really good at what I do, but I've been creative nonstop and I get burnt out so easily. And I got to the end of last year and it's like, I didn't want to open my emails. I was crying at my desk all the time. And I cry sometimes, like a reasonable amount, but like I'm not a daily crier really. But yeah, I got to the end of last year. I was crying at my desk. Like anytime I'd get like slightly, like a tiny bit of feedback from clients that wasn't negatively worded at all, I would just like, I couldn't handle it. It was way too much. My anxiety was in overdrive. So I took a break and I was like, oh, okay, this is like exactly what I needed to slow down. And then, yeah, I got a text from a client. And again, it was just, we don't really meet eye to eye on communication styles. So she was just a bit direct for my liking. And this is sort of, I was on holidays and I was in the office with Alex and I just start crying about this one tiny message. And it wasn't anything bad. It was just direct. And I was so fragile and I was just bawling and I was like, I need to get a job. Like, I have to get a job. I hate this. I can't do this anymore. And then Alex was like, no, like you love your business. And then I like started just sobbing and he was like, oh, okay, we might need to change it up. Actually,
this is a different conversation.
This is a different conversation. So after that, I just really thought about it and sat with it. And yeah, I think for me, like I still love running a business and I'm so excited to be able to take Scrunch back to a side hustle and to pour more love into it. Like I had so much fun with Scrunch when it was a side hustle. There was no pressure to make a living off of it. And who knows what I might do in the future, but for 2023 and for me, where I'm at right now, having the stability of an income and a routine and being accountable to someone else and not just myself, it's what's going to work for me. So I'm getting a job and I will continue to do Girls Gotta Work, obviously. That is one of the number one questions I got asked was like, oh my God, are you still doing the podcast? Like, yes, we're still doing the podcast. Girls Gotta Work is not going to change. But yeah, I think I'm really excited about the conversational opportunities that'll come out of it. Like, I even think back to like the Girls That Get It episode. And we were talking about how our partners live completely different lives because they, work at an office job, and we can't understand that anymore because we're not in that. So I think it'll provide some really interesting conversations because I'll understand both again. Like I'll be in both again. So I'm really excited. I think we will do a whole episode on like.
Yeah, definitely. Side hustles versus like business, the imposter syndrome that comes with all of that. But like, I know some of my clients still have fucking corporate 9 to 5s.
So many do.
A flourishing business, and I would never call it a side hustle. So it's like, there's so many more conversations to be had around that. And yeah.
And I'm excited to have the conversations.
You're still a girl that's got to work. Like,
I just have to work in 3 businesses rather than 2.
Yeah.
But yes, no, I'm excited. So it'll be good.
Awesome. Lots of changes, lots of exciting things. Anything like crazy in your personal life besides like business life that you want to tell anyone about?
No. I really haven't been doing much. I read 11 books in January.
Wow.
Because I wasn't working. So I literally read 11 books.
I read one.
Well, you're working. I'm not. I'm literally reading all day, going to the gym, occasionally dipping into work, and doing not much else. So did that, and then literally nothing else. My goal is to read a book a week this year, but like having read 11 books over 4 weeks.
Yeah, you're kind of ahead.
It helps. Apart from that, nothing personal, just a lot of business changes. But ones that I feel like I just feel deep in my soul that it's the right move. So I'm really excited about all of it. But enough about me. Shall we dive into how we are going to keep the momentum going in 2023?
Yes, let's do it.
Let's do it. So it is the start of the year, and most of us feel super motivated and pumped for 2023. That new year, new me, sort of all of that stuff that comes with the new year. But we always tend to run out of momentum eventually, and it becomes really hard to stay on track with those big lofty goals that we set, at the start of the year or the end of the year before. So I'd love to start by talking about why you think we run out of momentum. Like, why do you think you run out of momentum throughout the year, and how does it feel when you do? I really want to hone in on like how it feels, because I feel like it's such a shared experience. Like I think everyone feels really similarly, but no one really talks about, we talk about burnout, but we don't really talk about when we're like, I just can't be fucked.
Yeah.
So talk to me about it.
I mean, it's a bit funny that we're talking about this at the end of February, but I do feel like the motivation you have for the goals can like leave just as fast, like
so quickly.
So I think, I'm excited to talk about this. I have been doing a lot of like, I think with my like personal challenge, I've been doing like a lot of soul searching because I'm really quite disciplined in my work, but not necessarily my personal life. And I think been reflecting a lot on like how to make goals successfully, like smart goals, like
smart girls.
Yeah. Hashtag. Yeah. So like that kind of side of things. But what I've really kind of honed in on is like, which is not news, I don't think, to most of us, just not creating realistic goals and structuring them correctly.
Okay.
And like
how do you
connecting
do
them
that?
to the right things. So what I've learned is there's 2 types of goal settings or goals, like overarching. One is a lifestyle goal and one is a milestone goal.
Oh yeah.
So for example, losing weight is not a milestone goal, it's a lifestyle goal, and you can get them switched easily. So if you think like I want to lose 10 kilos is your goal, and people put that as a milestone goal because 10 kilos is a milestone. But then you get to 10 kilos, you're like, I'm done. And then you go back to how you lived before. So you really have to hone in and like write out all your goals and figure out if it's a lifestyle goal or a milestone goal. And then figure out if you could be fucking bothered.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if it's a lifestyle goal, like losing weight is a lifestyle goal. And like losing weight is each to their own. Like it's just, this is an easy example.
Yeah.
It's a lifestyle goal. Like if you could be bothered to like eat the kale or like do the walks or like whatever that looks like for you, like could you be bothered? Like if you want to be a CEO, what kind of lifestyle does a CEO have? Are you in a mindset to create that lifestyle right now?
And so a lifestyle goal is more about things you can sustain and setting up your lifestyle to look a certain way to achieve the lifestyle you want, whereas milestone goals are more about a specific thing that you want to achieve.
Yeah, I look at milestone goals as like if you're like studying right now and the milestone is graduation. So it's like that's a milestone goal. Like even though there's still lots of lifestyle things and lots of discipline acts that you have to do to like study and hand in your assignments on time, etc. Like it's still a milestone goal. You know, in like 2 years it's going to be done.
Yeah.
Whereas like a lifestyle goal, like if you want to be a CEO, for example, or like do that like 5 a.m. club, like if you see all CEOs wake up at 5 a.m., like is that something you're like, how dedicated are you? Are you in alignment to like make that happen? So there's so I look at it like that. And then there's also like, I just touched on alignment. It's like, are you in alignment to figure out what you want in the place that you are? Like if you're out of alignment and you think you want to be a CEO, you're not going to get there because you're out of alignment. You have to be in alignment with who you are in your mind, body, and soul before really like do the things that you need to do to to tick off the goals. Like
I think it's about aligning your values, your lifestyle, and like being really realistic and like sometimes harshly, brutally realistic about like who you are and what your lifestyle looks like and what you want it to look like compared to the goals you're setting. Because as you said, if you like want to be a CEO and that's like your main goal and you're doing it sort of through the traditional like corporate ladder sort of thing, like you do have to work your ass off. A lifestyle looks a certain way. It might look like getting up at 5 a.m. or even earlier and, you know, going to the gym, because I heard on someone else's podcast, Diary of a CEO, that, you know, all really successful like CEOs and, you know, business people work out because that does so many good things for like your mind.
Yeah.
So it's like, does it actually align with you and your values and your personality and how you want to live your lifestyle to get up at 5 a.m. and work out and then be at work for potentially 12 hours and then take all the meetings and do all the things that are required to get you where you want to be and to live that CEO lifestyle? Or is like, if you're really honest about who you are as a person and like reflecting on what you truly want your lifestyle to look like, are your goals aligned with that? And if not, I would say you probably need to align your goals with who you are, because it's much harder to change who you are at your core. I think it's possible, but it's a lot easier to set goals around being brutally honest of like who you are and what's realistic for you to achieve right now.
Yeah.
And then sure, set some lofty goals. Like if you want to eventually progress into a CEO lifestyle, start small, but also just be realistic about it.
Yeah. And also we were talking before we jumped on like about reverse engineering. So it's like, if you want to be a business owner and there's someone that you look up to, reverse engineer how they got there. So think about like work backwards to like the skills and their lifestyle that you want, because not every CEO or business owner is the same. Like we both really like chillpreneur.
Denise Duffield Thomas.
Yeah. So like she's a CEO, but a business owner, like super successful, but her idea of that is very different to Gary V's. Like it's so different. So I think find a mentor and work backwards that way. And then, like we were saying, like figure out the lifestyle you want and the goals you need, and reverse engineer it that way. But also be realistic. Like you're not going to create those habits overnight, and they're not going to happen in a year, but like it could take 5 years.
Yeah.
So I think,
baby steps. And just start, which is, I don't know. It's like the worst piece of advice that anyone ever gives. It's like, just start, just do it, you know, just get started. But I don't know, to a degree, it's true.
Yeah. One of my favorite quotes is, you don't have to see the whole staircase. You just have to take the first step.
Yes.
So it's like, exactly, you know, that like up there is like that CEO, business owner,
whatever it is. Yeah.
But it's like, you don't need to see that on every step in front of you. You just need to take the first one, and then you'll feel better. Then the next one, then the next one.
For sure. And I think, so setting goals is obviously a huge like part of, and making sure they're realistic goals. That's a huge part of keeping the momentum, because you know that when it's realistic, you're more likely to be able to achieve it. So then the more steps you take, the closer you get to that goal. And it's not like you're running like a marathon. It's like you're running, 100-meter sprint. Like, you know, you can see the finish line from where you are. So setting realistic goals is the best way to do that. But I don't know, to continue with this stupid ass running analogy. Let's just
we're
say
runners now.
We're runners. I am not a runner.
Not a runner.
But let's just say like you are running the 100-meter sprint. You've set a really realistic goal. It's within sight. But you get to the 50-meter mark and you're like, no, I'm done. I can't be bothered. I'm like, I've lost momentum. Like, how I think it's great to set realistic goals, but I think even with realistic goals, you always hit a point where you're like, or not always, but you can still hit a point where you lose momentum and you're like, I can't take another step. I actually just, I don't want to. Like, you took a bit of a dummy spit. You're like, no, fuck this. I don't need my goals. I don't need
Yeah.
and get grumbly about like, how do you in your business be like, all right, keep going? Like how do you set yourself up when you are setting goals to make sure that you do keep the momentum going, that you have sort of backup plans or
for the tired days.
Yeah,
I
for the
think
tired days.
obviously rest is super powerful and important. So I think that goes almost without saying, but also it needs to be said because I'm guilty of fucking forgetting.
Yeah.
Rest? What is she?
Who is she? Every time we talk about rest, I just have to like try not to laugh. I'm like, you are not a rester.
Oh my God, it's the worst. I'm working on it, guys. I'm working on it. Hold me
Working
accountable.
on it.
Working on it. Yeah, just rest. And I'm someone who needs rewards. Like I need that dopamine hit. I need that serotonin. I need like, check. You're so great, Hayleigh. So I was reading this thing the other day and it was like starting a new habit, day 3, which is pretty early in the like, creating of a habit. You might need a reward, or like day 3, you might lose momentum. So it's like day 3, day 21, and I want to say 60, but it could be 90. It's like 60 or 90. So like there's some of the goals I've set out. I've got a little like reward system in place for like each of those like days. So like on day 3, I know I'm going to feel like shit. I'm not going to want to get back up and go to the gym. I'm not going to want to set my alarm for 5 a.m. if they're not my goals, but whatever. So I've set in like little milestone check-ins and like when to rest, when to reward myself, because I used to just do all this. Like I used to go get my nails done. I used to go get the haircut. I used to buy the shirt that I wanted, but I'm like linking that in my brain to a reward system. So it feels like, oh, I really earned this. I mean, I can go and buy and do the things anyway, but it's like linking it is really good.
And almost stopping yourself from going to get your nails done. So until like it's time for a reward, because then you're looking at your nails and be like, oh, they're so grown out. They're so gross. But like, I can't go get them done until I like hit X. This until I like hit this milestone, until I hit this goal, until I hit this reward point, because then it feels more special. Like it feels more like like it's stuff you're doing anyway, so it's not like you're investing way more money into rewards for things that you potentially don't need. It's stuff that you would do anyway, but it's as you said, linking it to the reward to make your brain go like, oh, if I do and if I do this habit, I get more of this. How cool is that? I love that.
Yeah. Another one is habit stacking.
I'd struggle with habit stacking, to be totally honest. To be fair, I tried it for a day.
Well,
I need to at least. Well, because I was like, oh wait, no, I tried it for 2 days because like I did one day and then I tried and I was just, it's too hard.
Okay, so
not too hard. I actually, this was in my like, fuck everything. I'm burnt out. I was basically like, I'm gonna like
not a good time.
It's not a good time. I didn't pick a good time. Anyway, talk to me about habit stacking.
For those who don't know what habit stacking is, it instead of like, I think we all have big dreams and big goals and all the things. Don't start them all on the same day. Don't.
Oh,
you need to stack them because
I need to do all of the things at one time so that I can be the best person ever in one day.
And then by day 3, you'll be like, fuck this.
Yes.
So I think this is why I've like stacked out my personal challenge in 4-week increments, because no fucking way am I going to work on my mind, body and soul all in January, because I'll burn myself out. I'll lose momentum. I'll be like, fuck this. And then I'll think I'm a failure. Like, no. So being realistic and like stacking the goals. So if something like journaling is your goal, like is a resolution you want to start doing, you want to journal, you want to meditate, and you want to read, don't start them all on the same day. Do one for like 1 to 2 weeks or even a month before you bring in the second habit, because then like you've started the moment, like you've started and then you're like, oh, okay, I'm ready to take on a new thing. We just take the start of the year, people take on too much and they're like, I'm going to do everything. And then they don't. And then they're sad.
Yeah. And I think that's why the whole like new year, new me messaging is such bullshit. And I have a real problem with it. It's because like when you put so much pressure on completely turning your life around, in inverted commas, like, but completely changing your habits and who you are and your practices and all of the things in a day, you're setting yourself up for failure. Like, I just think, I don't know. I feel like the new year, new me, just actually extend it over the new year. Don't be like 1st of January, I am going to be a new person. It's like by the December 31st this year, I am going to be a more evolved person, or whatever it is that you're trying to work towards. Like, give yourself 365 days to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. And have the patience. Another thing that I've
what is that?
Who is she? She doesn't go here.
She doesn't even go here.
Something that I've worked into my goal setting, etc., mindset things to keep me accountable. It's creating I am statements to my goals. So like kind of mixed with affirmations, like say, for example, you want to be a 7-figure business owner. I am a 7-figure business owner. So it's like creating those I am statements that relate to your goals and repeating them daily to keep your mind in alignment to who you are wanting to be, whatever that looks like for you. I found super powerful because goal setting, you can fucking plan till the cows come home. But if you don't have the right mindset, nothing's going to happen.
Totally. I think I have like a gratitude journal that has, as part of it, it has I am statements every morning. So there's like a morning and night component, but the last part of the morning is like I am ... and you just write that. And I think doing it every day, mine changes most days. Like I do, it sort of depends on what I need to hear from myself for the day. I don't know. There's something about writing it in the journal that I'm like, it's like someone else is telling me that. So, you know, if I'm having like a really bad anxiety morning and I just, you know, my heart rate, like my heart is going, like I feel shaky, I'm really jittery. It's like, I am calm, I am confident, I am capable. Those are like my 3. And then it's like, I just feel a little more ready to go into the day with that almost as an intention. It's like, I know I am all of those things. I might not feel it right now, but I am. And therefore that's what I'm going to work towards. And it doesn't work all the time, but usually I find by lunchtime, I am feeling calmer and more confident and more capable, which is just amazing.
That's so good.
It's so powerful. I love it. I am statements for the win.
For the win.
Amazing. Yeah, I think my biggest thing is journaling every day, even when nothing bad has happened. I know, or like even when I don't need to set a goal or anything. I know we spoke about this on our girls retreat a couple of, oh my God, was it a month ago now?
Yeah, over.
Wow. Time went quick. But yeah, we spoke about it on the retreat of like journaling is such a good way to just clarify what you're thinking. Because I feel like we all get caught up in like mental spirals, especially when we are feeling like we're sort of losing a bit of momentum. We start talking negatively about ourselves. We start saying things like, I'm not reliable. I can't follow a structure. You know, I'm undisciplined. We start all that negative talk, and journaling that out. Like I journal pretty loosely because I just like love writing it out. So I just get a pen and paper and I usually start with how I'm feeling. So it's like, and I talk to myself, which I know it sounds weird, but like I talk to myself as if I'm like I say you. So I'm like, you're feeling, you know, undisciplined, crappy, whatever. I'm like, you're feeling this. Why are you feeling this way? That's my prompt. And then I literally just journal it out, journal out all of my feelings. And then I'm like, okay, how do we change the perspective? How do we shift this? How do we get past this? But even on the good days, it's like, what good happened today? It's like affirming the good. It's regardless of what the day has brought or what it's going to bring, just getting stuff out on paper really clarifies what you're thinking. It amplifies the good. It helps you clear out the bad. It's a really good practice, I find, for keeping that negative talk to a minimum and staying like really just honing in on like, all right, this is my goal. I'm feeling unmotivated potentially because of X, Y, and Z. Here's how I'm going to change that. Therefore, I can sort of get on with my day and continue with my goals. I'm not sort of trapped in that mindset and then
negative thought loop.
And then I lose momentum and then inevitably give up and start again on January 1st of next year.
That's probably a big one. Like you can start anytime, guys.
Yeah. Even
like, anytime.
One thing I can't remember. Oh, Alex is a shocker for it. Like I love him to death, but this is like one thing that it's like, it shits me when he says it because I know he's right. Like every time I want to start a new habit or something, I'll be like, all right, Monday.
Yeah.
Next Monday, I'm going to start. And it'll be like Tuesday. So I'll be like, next Monday, you know? He's like, start today. I'm like, no, but it's not Monday. I have to start Monday. He's like, you can start any day. I was like, no, it's not Monday. But it's so true. Like you can start any habit, any day of the week, anytime. Like you don't have to wait till the morning or the next day. You can start like literally as you're listening to this podcast. You can be like, nah, here is a habit that I want to implement. We're starting now. My soul can't quite accept that, but my mind knows that.
We'll get there. We'll get
We'll
there.
get there. We'll work on it. I wanted, before we jump into our beautiful community feedback, I wanted to ask, like, keeping the momentum going, like, how much of that do you think has to do with setting realistic goals, as we touched on at like the top of this episode, and how much do you think comes down to actually staying accountable to them and doing all of those things that we were just talking about, like the journaling and all of that? Like, is there like a percentage? How much do you think comes from, like the actual realistic goal setting compared to the accountability? What do you reckon?
I honestly, it's like a mix of both. I think some days one is going to be like a 60 versus 40, 50-50, 70-30. It's definitely a mix of both. And I think the most important thing is to figure out who you are as a person.
Yeah.
And then reverse engineering your goals. Sometimes, yes, you need to be a bit more harder on yourself and be like, just, get out of your funk and just kind of do it.
Yeah.
But something I heard, fucking probably on a podcast.
Likely.
Sometimes people don't start their goals or don't start a thing or start, I don't know, give up somewhere through because they're so used to it not going well that it's like you're already self-sabotaging yourself.
Yeah.
And you don't even realize because they can't see the outcome or they can't see the future. And they're like, oh, this never works out. So it's like already the negative self-talk is there.
Yeah.
They don't try. So it's like, even if you've planned out everything and you're like, this is what I'm going to do. I've got my reward system. I've got my I am statements. I've got my pretty journal ready. I've got my gym gear at the door ready to go at 5 a.m., blah, blah, blah. They're like, I can't see this result happening. So therefore I'm not even going to try. And then as soon as you stop trying, you're like, see, told myself. It was never going to work.
It's almost like you're telling yourself you're a certain kind of person and therefore already before you've even started, it's like, I'm not the kind of person who completes my goals. I'm not the kind of person who has ever achieved a big goal before. I'm just not the kind of person this sort of stuff works out for. And you give up before you start.
Definitely. Because you're not even putting your hat in the ring because you already think it's not going to work. I'm learning more and more every day as I'm getting old and wise. Your mindset is everything. It's absolutely everything. And it's so annoying. It's so much work. But
it's continuous work as well.
Digress, guys. Come on. But it is. Mindset is everything. So I think a huge element is planning yourself and setting yourself up for success and making sure you think about the things that trigger you, the things that are going to get in your way, the people in your life that might not support your goals. You have to definitely think about those and you have to definitely plan that out. But then you also have to be disciplined and work on your mindset every day because without a good mindset and support system, it's going to be really hard.
Yeah. So it's going to be a lot easier to lose that momentum and just make it easier to sort of, I don't want to say give up because I just don't like the word, but to just almost stop trying and stop putting in the work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. All right. Well, unless you have anything else to add, do we want to jump into what our lovely community have said on how they keep the momentum going in their businesses?
I want to know what other people think.
Let's do it. So as always, we asked our lovely community, which is you guys, thanks guys, what you thought about, how you keep the momentum going, sort of just general thoughts on this topic and a bit of setting yourself up for success, in 2023 as well. Let's dive right in. First come off the rank is the lovely Kathy. She always asks herself, what can I do today? She said, it's a way of calibrating and being practical and prepared for the win. Usually we know what we need to do and what needs to be done. Redoing the to-do list is unnecessary. Oh, I read that and I was like, oh, ouch. Okay, I'll stop.
Yeah, that's so true.
It's about bringing what the human, AKA myself, can practically achieve with what's on offer today. This creates the opportunity for my wins in working with what you really have each day. I love that because it's really reflecting on like the energy you have to bring to the day. Like if you're really low energy and you have a massive to-do list, there's no point rewriting your to-do list and just being like, I've just got to get it done. If you're low energy, it's like, okay, what can I practically do?
Yeah. But if like something, your goal is, I don't know, to be a thought leader in your industry, that's a huge goal. But like the energy you have today might just be reach out and talk to one person.
Yes.
Like slide into one person's DM, not 20. Like if the goal every day is to do 20, for example, just doing one is still getting you an inch closer to
It's
the
still
bigger
taking a step.
overarching. Yeah.
Yeah,
I love
totally.
that.
Yeah. Oh, I love Kathy. If any of you don't follow Kathy, this is a bit of a sidetrack, but she's a linguist.
Linguistic.
She works with words. Maybe a linguist. I can never quite remember the word for it, but she works with words and she thinks really deeply about words and what they mean and the power of words in self-talk. She is amazing. So yeah, Kathy Rast is, I think she's just, for all of this mindset stuff that we've been talking about, she has really interesting conversations. So I would just go talk to her. And the next one is the lovely Shannon. Shannon has said, I've built a routine to remind me of those goals and intentions of how I want to show up in the world. I have a story of who I am in the future, which helps remind me of the identity I'm working towards being. And that identity does the work to achieve the goals.
Yes. That's like that, like being in alignment for who you want to be and making the decisions based on that. I love that so much.
Yeah.
I love that it's written out and you can check it every day. Someone else I was following is some crazy, successful CEO in America.
I love the pause between crazy and successful there. I thought you were just going to say some crazy on the internet. I was
crazy successful. He checks his vision board every day and like realigns himself every day. And I'm just like, I don't know if I have that kind of discipline, but I fucking love that for future Hayleigh. Like I'm sure maybe next year, but like right now mine is like I have these like fun magnetic sticky notes and I put a bunch of
I love them.
Right? Game changer. I wrote some of my I am statements and they're in my bathroom mirror. They're in my shower, like on the outside because my whole shower is like glass. So I can see it from the outside while I'm having a shower. I realign when I brush my teeth. And right now, like I have 2 other bathrooms in my house. I'm going to put them everywhere.
That's so
I don't
good.
always use just my ensuite, but
yeah.
So if you come to my house, there's I am statements everywhere. So
I love that. And it's constantly reiterating. And also like if an I am statement isn't working, like you can always, because they are just sticky notes, you can always like put up a different one for the day, depending on what does feel aligned. I love that. And also, guys, get around to the magnetic stickies. Hayleigh put together a beautiful like pack for our retreat and they came with them. And I sort of looked at them and I was like, this is definitely a sham. Like I didn't believe it was possible. They're so like, I have 2 monitors at the moment and one, I just haven't quite figured out how to connect it all up and I can't be bothered. It's in the too hard bucket for now. But like I put them on my monitor. I did a content calendar with sticky notes because I just wanted to change it up. Was amazing. I was so impressed. And then when I like finished a post, I just like took it down and like scrunched it up and just put it in the bin. And I was like, oh, so satisfying. Then, like,
if you wanted to put the sticky note somewhere else, it will re-stick.
Yeah.
It's the best. They're the best. Whoever makes them, if you're listening to the podcast, we'll like totally take a sponsor. Like we'll take a cut. We'll talk about them all the time.
Yeah. Magnetic Notes by Tesla Amazing. TeslaAmazing.com, guys.
Wow.
Please sponsor us.
They're amazing.
It's so good. So good.
Sidetrack.
We're ready. Ainsley has said she reminds herself every morning of the purpose behind her business and life and asks if what she has planned aligns with that purpose. So sort of similar to what Shannon said with you think of the person you want to be, the purpose you sort of want to live your life by, and then figure out if what you have on today actually aligns with that. It's all about alignment. And
it's all about alignment. On saying that, I did something similar. I've done so many things. I print out both my mission statements for Girls Gotta Work and Hayleigh and put them on my wall above my computer so I can see them every day. The same kind of thing. Like I love what both my businesses are about. Being, like aligned to that every day. It's like especially when you're like, oh, fuck this like task, I don't want to do it. It's like, oh, what's the bigger picture? Like, okay, yep, I'm happy again. I'll do it.
I love that. And I think getting sucked into like the day-to-day tasks and like the nitty-gritty is a big reason we lose momentum because we lose sight of the bigger picture. So like having that bigger picture always visible and always reiterated, it's like, okay, as much as I don't want to do this shitty little task, this makes a big difference to my bigger picture, and constantly being reminded of that, I think is just awesome. And our last one, it's a bit of a chunky one, so bear with me, is from the lovely Peter. So she said, she does a few things, but so I'm just sort of going to list them out as she has. So Peter said, I create very ambitious goals each year, lock them into quarters with milestones to aim for, and then get clear on tactics. I organize my week on a Sunday and get clear on what I'm doing versus where I want to go, and I make sure that it all matches. I don't believe in flow. I believe in structure and routine. I get dressed and treat a Monday the same as I do a Saturday. I get up, I have the same routine. I get dressed every day and approach each day with the mentality that it's a good day to be me, and I'm going to do my best and focus on moving forward to where I desire to be. I listen to a personal development podcast when I get ready every morning. And honestly, it's very Patrick Bateman vibes, but it works. And the last one, I think it all comes back to getting clear on where I'm going and ensuring my daily habits will compound so that it is inevitable.
I mean, that wraps up exactly everything we've said. So we love that. That was a great summary. Thanks, Peter.
Yeah, thanks, Peter. I feel like we just need to leave it there because I know I don't need to reiterate this. I want to repeat the last one because I read it so many times in preparation for this episode. Like, it all comes back to getting clear on where I'm going and ensuring my daily habits will compound so that it is inevitable. I love it. I love it. Okay, that's all. Bye. And that's a wrap, fam. As always, we've loved being in your ears, sharing the highs and lows of running a business.
If you want to keep the party going, come join us on Instagram and TikTok at Girls Gotta Work Podcast. We are a small business, so if you're feeling extra kind, we'd love it if you could like, subscribe, and leave a review on your podcast app of choice.
And this podcast was produced by Good Chat Media, so go give them a follow if you loved the app.
Bye!